I have my sweater pulled up over my head because it's kind of chilly. I'm not going to turn my car on, but I'm sitting in my car. But I was sitting in the restaurant slash bar, and I've only had one drink, but you know, sometimes your feelings can just hit you, and it's like, I don't have any friends. I know people, but I don't have any friends. And tonight isn't karaoke or open mic, so there's no like singing opportunities for me. It's just like a band or whatever. And he told me that he was going to recommend me for the position of a server, and then today I got the email that the restaurant won't be able to offer me a position. And I actually called up to the restaurant and asked to speak to that manager, and he was, came to the phone or whatever, and I just said, basically I was just looking for feedback because I wondered like what made him change his mind. And he said he hadn't changed his mind and he had recommended me, but he isn't the hiring manager. And I understood that, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm probably rambling. I feel like my thoughts are kind of here and there, but it's like I started coming here for open mic and karaoke, for singing opportunities. I was going further until it's not mine, it's my soon-to-be ex's car broke down on the interstate, which was really scary. It had just opened back up. Coming from Newport News toward Virginia Beach, it had just opened back up to 2 lanes. And so thankfully it had opened back up to 2 lanes because people were really impatient anyway. And it was kind of dangerous and scary. And it was super late. It was probably like 1 in the morning. And I feel like, these bars, which are restaurants, they're not just a bar, but these places, I mean, that's where karaoke is held normally. But like I said, tonight's not karaoke, but it's like, I don't really belong here. And I kind of feel it pretty strongly. And yet, sitting at home, which is my mom's house, and not having anywhere to go can kind of become very discouraging. And that's why I go out, because it's like, I feel like if I could get work, then I could have interaction with people that didn't involve bars. Well, it might involve a bar, I guess, if I worked at a restaurant that had a bar, but you know what I mean, like I wouldn't be a patron, I wouldn't be drinking it at all. And I think it's a long time to not have had any friends and support. And the friends I used to have when I was in these fundamental churches, I was in such a horrible situation. I kept going to people for help, and whether it would be a pastor's wife or just a normal, regular, some other Christian lady that was my friend, like, I mean, I had people to the home, and I cooked lunch for people, like maybe like a younger mom that had a couple of kids. Like, I definitely know how to exercise hospitality. It wasn't like everything was just horrible. On a day-to-day, it wasn't always horrible, but especially now that I've healed and I've been separated for nearly 3 years, it's like, it's about time for the gaps to get filled in with people in my life. It's just like probably more than most people could bear. That's what I really feel like. It feels like most people would get into some toxic dynamic before they would be alone for as long as I've been alone. Like standing alone, staying alone. And I am strong, and there are people who have taken advantage of me, but like who I am and my character through and through is like, I am upstanding and I am strong, but sometimes I get tired of being so strong. Sometimes I get tired of not having like a shoulder to literally lean on, cry on, someone to speak to about feelings and things and I guess that's kind of where my writing helps, because I feel like it is me transmuting negative energy into at least neutralized, if not positive energy, because it's hard to live in such a way that you don't have any friends or any support. And I don't know, It's like there's all kinds of people in the world, but I don't think I'm better than anybody, but there are plenty of unhealed and very toxic people in the world, and those people still have friends. Those people still have buddies, male or female or whatever, depending upon what they are. Either way, people that they would be romantically interested in, people that they would just be like homies with. They have people to go and do things with. Go to a concert or go to the restaurant or bar or whatever it would be, and go play pool. And sometimes I can just wonder, like, kind of like, why does nobody, like tonight, like nobody approaches me, nobody really hardly even speaks to me. And it's like, I can take it personally if I allow myself to. I try not to. I try to tell myself it's not because you're not pretty enough or good enough or whatever. Like, that's kind of why I came out to the car, because when I felt like I was gonna almost cry, it was like, let me not sit here and like be like down and depressing in my like energy, and then like people who are around with their friends are looking at me like, what's wrong with that lady? She looks pretty sad. And so that's kind of why I came out to my car. But at the same time, it's like, it's hard to not have friends, and it's kind of double hard to keep being turned down for like job positions that I'm definitely qualified for. And this is when I sit there and I'm like, I can be just really analytical, and I'm like, alcohol is a depressant. Alcohol, you know, it's the alcohol that's kind of, after the initial high, it's like the alcohol that's making you feel worse than you did before you came. But even at my mom's house, and the lack of interaction or the toxic dynamic, and I try to just keep my boundaries high and kind of keep her at arm's length, it's hard. And I'm not seeing my kids very much. I want to, and some of that is definitely their dad just kind of making it difficult for me. I also have a vehicle that needs work done, and it's his vehicle in his name only, and I have put thousands into both of the vehicles when I had the big van, and now that I have a little car, and that money is my lawyer money. That was all coming from a child tax credit that he didn't want me to have, and on and on and on. I could just kind of, and then it's like, okay, don't feel sorry for yourself and don't be negative. Sometimes it just has to be okay to be real about what's really the deal and what's really going on. And, you know, there's a lot of people here who talk to me or hit on me, and I can kind of pick up on, not always, but a lot of the time, they're not really worth shit. Like, I'm not saying they don't have potential, but they're not healed, and they're not like upstanding guys who, you know, they just see me as somebody they want to sleep with. They just see me as someone to use. And it's like, why am I here? Especially on a night that's not karaoke. Like, why did I come here? I'm just gonna turn this off and sit here and find something on YouTube to watch. Maybe I'll write a poem. I'm not gonna drive until I feel completely ready to, but it's like, and then where else could I go? There's some dance clubs I've tried going to, which is not better than a bar, and yeah, basically there's just not really anywhere else to go. And where are the quality people? And how am I supposed to meet people? Because unless it's the UPS man happening to drop off a package for my neighbor or somebody, my mom or somebody, like, I'm not meeting people just sitting at home. And so it's like, what's the answer?